Number 11, attention precision. In a relay race, athletes each run the same distance and carry a baton that is passed from one runner to the next. In middle school is holding 3-person relay races for the field day. Cassidy's time is 13 and 5/10 seconds. Emil's time is 13 and 8700 seconds. And Alondra's time is 12 and 9500 seconds. Okay? So what is the team's time for the relay race? So, what do we need to do? We need to add them all together first, right? Okay, so we have the 13 and 5/10, 13 and 8700, and 12 and 9500. So, 13 and 5/10 plus 13 and 8700 plus 12 and 9500. What did I do to keep all of my place values in line? Lined up the decimal, right? What do I need to put up here to hold a spot? Okay, what do I do first? Break down the decimal. Okay, 0 plus 7 plus 5 is 1. 1 plus 5 plus 8 plus 9 is. So 1 plus 5 is 6 plus 8 is 14 plus 9 is. Put the 3, carry the 2. 2 plus 3 is 5 plus 3 is 8 plus 2 is 10. Carry the 1. 1 plus 1 plus 1 plus 1 is 4. So our answer is 40 and 3200 seconds. All right, how much faster is Cassidy's time than Emil's time? So what was Cassidy's time? 13.5. So 13.5 or 13 and 5/10 minus what was Emil's? Did I write that the right way? No, because the larger one needs to go on top. The reason why it's saying it's faster is because when you're running a race, you want the smaller amount, right? Okay, so we need to change that. So remember, guys, the largest number always goes on top. So 13 and 8700 minus 13 and 5/10. What do I need to do? Add a 0 to hold my spot and bring down my 7 minus 0 is 8 minus 5 is 3 minus 3 is. So that's all. Okay. So 37 hundredths of a second quicker. How much faster is Alejandro's time than Cassidy's time? So who has the bigger amount? Cassidy. So we need to make sure we put her on top. So 13 and 5/10 minus Alejandro's was 12 and 9500. Okay. Use the decimal to keep everything in line. What do I need to do first? Add a 0 to hold my spot. Bring down my decimal. The 0 becomes a 10. This 5 becomes a 4. Can I take 9 from 4? Nope. So it becomes a 14, and this 3 becomes a 2. 10 minus 5 is 5. 14 minus 9 is 5. And bring down a 0 to hold my 1 spot. So 55 hundredths of a second faster. Okay. On your own, number 12, geography. In the northern hemisphere, the fall equinox marks the first day of fall. On this September day, day and night are each about 12 hours long. Then daylight shortens daily until the winter solstice in December. On September 22nd, 2018, Juneau, Alaska had about 734 minutes of daylight, and it began losing about 5 and 200 minutes of daylight each day. About how much or how many minutes of daylight did you have on September 25th? Show your work. So what do we need to do?
5 and 200
So, because it said for 3 days, right? Okay, so we said 5 and 200. So we can either do 5 and 200 and add it 3 times, or we can multiply it times 3, which we know how to do both, right? Okay, so let's just do times 3. So 6, 0, 15, and go back and add how many place values? 2, because I have 2 place values, 100, right? Okay, then I'm going to take what's their overall time? 734, and then do what with that? Minus 15 and 600. Okay, put a decimal here because that's where it would be to hold my place. All right, okay, and then what do I need to put? 2 zeros. Okay, what do I do next? Bring down my decimal, so this would become a 10, this would become a 9, this would become a 3. Can I take 5 from 3? Nope, so this becomes a 13, this becomes a 2. Now, am I good to go? Okay, 10 minus 6 is 4. Bring down the 9. 13 minus 5 is 8. 2 minus 1 is 1. And bring down the 7. So our answer would be about 718 and 94 hundredths. We need to put about 718 and 94 hundredths. What's our label? Minutes. Find the difference. 4 and 56 hundredths subtracted from 7 and 38 hundredths. So the first number that's listed, is that what goes on top? No, that's the number that goes on the bottom. So then not only do you guys have to subtract them out and find the answer, but you also know, or you also have to know how to write them in standard form, number form from the word form, right? Okay, so how do I write 7 and 38 hundredths? 7 decimal 38, right? Okay, and then minus what? Okay, so what do I do? Drop down my decimal first, right? Then 8 minus 6 is 2. Then my becomes 13, and 7 becomes 6. 13 minus 5 is 8. 6 minus 4 is 2. So my answer is 2 and 82 hundredths. 2 and 84 hundredths subtracted from 6 and 5 tenths. So once again, we need to read it carefully to know what goes on top, right? So what does go on top? So the 6 and 5 tenths, how do I write that? 6.5. Okay, 2 and 84 hundredths. And I use my decimal to keep everything in line, right? What do I do first? Add a 0 to have the same amount of place values, right? Okay, bring down the decimal. What do I do next? The 0 becomes a 10, the 5 becomes a 4. Can I take 8 from 4? No, so this becomes a 14, and this 6 becomes a 5. Okay, 10 minus 4 is 6. 14 minus 8 is 5 minus 2 is 3. So my answer is 3 and 66 hundredths. Find the difference. So I need to take 4 and 28 hundredths minus 3 and 16 hundredths. What do I do first? Bring down the decimal. 8 minus 6 is 2. 2 minus 1 is 1. 4 minus 3 is 1. So my answer is 1 and 12 hundredths. Next one, 27 and 64 hundredths minus 16 and 98 hundredths. What do I do first? Bring down my decimal, kept everything in line with the decimal, right? Okay, so 4 becomes 14, 6 becomes 5. Can I take 9 from 5? Nope, so it becomes 15. This becomes a 6. Do I need to regroup anymore? Nope. 14 minus 8 is 15 minus 9 is 6 minus 6 is 2 minus 1 is, so my answer is 10 and 66 hundredths. Next one, 84 and 35 hundredths minus 67 and 27 hundredths. Bring my decimal down. The 5 becomes 15. The 3 becomes a 2. Will I be able to take 7 from 4? No, so what does it become? 14, and the 8 becomes a 7. 15 minus 7 is 8. 2 minus 2 is 0. 14 minus 7 is, and 7 minus 6 is, so 17 and 8 hundredths. Okay, they want us to find unknown numbers, so I am going to take 3 and 74 hundredths minus 2 and 8 tenths, and I use my decimals to keep everything in line, right? What do I do first? Add a 0 to hold my spot, bring down my decimal. 4 minus 0 is 4. Can I take 8 from 7? Nope, so it becomes 17, and the 3 becomes a 17 minus 8 is 1, and then put a, so 94 hundredths. Okay, the next one, what do I need to do? Minus 1 and 7 tenths. So we're missing a number in a different spot that we can still subtract this way, right? What do I do first?
Bring down the decimal.
Put a 0 to hold my spot, right? Okay, but I lined everything up with the decimal, then I can bring down the decimal. 3 minus 0 is
3.
This 6 becomes a
16.
The 4 becomes a
3.
16 minus 7 is 3 minus 1 is, so 2. Okay, number 19. What am I going to do?
21 and 3 tenths minus 12 and 45 hundredths.
Okay, and I use my decimal to keep everything in line. What do I need to do first?
Add a 0.
Add a 0 to have enough place values. Bring down my decimal. The 0 becomes a 10. The 3 becomes a 2. Can I take 4 from that? No, this becomes a 12. This comes in a 0. Can I take 2 from 0? No, so it becomes 10, and this becomes a 1. 10 minus 5 is 12 minus 4 is 10 minus 2 is, so 8 and 85 hundredths. How can you use mental math to subtract 9 tenths from 5 hundredths? So basically, if could you make 500, what could you make it? Kind of like when we regroup with fractions. You can make it 499 and what? And 10 tenths, right? Okay, so you can make it 499 and 10 tenths, and then subtract 9 tenths, and what are you left over with? 499 and 1 tenth. So basically, we converted this 500 to 499 and 10 tenths, right? Because that still equals 500, right? Okay, so like I said, it's just like when we actually group with fractions, okay? And then we subtracted the 9 tenths to get us 499 and 1 tenth. And then we just wrote it in decimal form, right? Okay, so that's how we can